Hi everyone. Today we are going to talk about 7.1a arithmetic sequences. So you are going to find the formulas for arithmetic sequence, and also you will find nth term by using the formula. So what is arithmetic sequence? Arithmetic sequence is a sequence of terms in which the difference between any two consecutive terms is a constant. So before we give you the example, you should know some terminologies. A1 means, what is it? It means the first term. A2 means obviously second term. And A3 is a third term. And then AN is the nth term, right? N represent any numbers. And then D is the difference between the terms. So arithmetic sequence, each time you add the same number to get the next term, that number we call difference. n-1, n-1 term is, do you know what it is? n-1th term or previous term. So because when we say the nth term, if n is 5, right? n-1 is 4. Does it make sense to you? So before 5 term is the fourth term, right? So previous term. n-1 means previous term or n-1th term. So please keep it in mind, very important. And we have two different kinds of formulas. The first one is explicit formula, and second one is recursive formula. So explicit formula is like a general formula. And then I'll explain about recursive formula later. So formula, when you get the nth term, you need to know two things. What is first term and difference? If you know the first term and then what is the difference for each time, then you can find the nth term by using this formula, which is A1 plus difference times n-1. Think about it. Each time you add D, right, to get the next term. So if you find the A5 term, right, to the first term, how many times you added the D difference? 4 times you added the D plus D plus D plus D. That's the fifth term. Does it make sense? So M1 less than nth term, that much you add the D. That's why you get the formula like this. A1 plus D times n-1 terms. Why you multiply D n-1 to get the nth term, you add the D n-1 time, right? And then second is recursive formula. Recursive formula is the formula is nth term. Recursive formula is we get the nth term by using the just previous term. When you know the previous term, what do? You add the D to the previous term, right? And then get the next term. So formula is previous term plus D. Simple, right? But problem is, to get the nth term, you should know the just previous term. Without knowing it, you cannot get the nth term. So if you know so for formula, you should write down always the A1, what is the first term, all right? If you know the A1, now you can get the next one, A2, and the next one, A3. You go step by step because formula. But explicit formula, to get the nth term, you directly get the nth term without knowing the previous term, right? So you just plug what is n equal to. A10, you just plug n equal 10, then you get the value A10, 10th term. 100, you replace n with 100, you get the 100th term. But recursive formula, 100th term, you should know what is 99th term, right? And then plus D, that's the recursive formula. So let's see with examples. So you have you created you have the list of numbers like this sequence of the numbers, -2, 0, 2, 4, 6. You see the pattern? First, what is the first term? Yeah, you know the -2. And then next term is 0. What did you do? And next term is 2. What did you do to here? So you understand what is the D, right? Which is common difference? Yes, that's 2. Then can you find out explicit formula? How do you find it? This is I already explained. So let's find the formula now. A1 is -2. How do you find that AN? You just plug in, right? A1, you know the D, right? This is explicit formula, as you know. So this D, 2. Then put the form A1 plus n minus 1 times 2. Or you can put the 2 in front, right? N minus 1 times D or D times n minus 1, no difference, right? Commutative property of multiplication. And then don't leave like this. You can simplify. Then -2 plus 2n minus 2 and combine -2, -2 become 2m minus 4. This is explicit formula. Then how do you get the 7th term and 20th term? Yes, what do you do? Plug 7 into n here. So 2 times 7 is minus 4 is 10, right? 20th term, 2 times 20 minus 4 is 36. This way, so if you know the explicit formula, you can get any term. Just plug the n into the formula like this one. If you change an to y, it's like a linear equation, right? Y equal to 2x minus 4, y equal to 2n minus 4, same. It's like a linear equation where the slope is 2. The slope, the difference is like a slope, right? Then let's move on to recursive formula. I explained already, recursive formula generates each new term of a sequence based on the preceding term, previous term of the sequence. So our formula is very simple. When you get the nth term, you should use n minus 1 term, which is previous term, right? What do? You add the d, which is common difference, to the previous term. So the formula is very simple. You understand the meaning of an arithmetic sequence. You add what? D to the what? Previous term to get the next term, nth term. Make sense? Previous term is n minus 1 term. So to get the 9th term, you should get the 9 minus 1 is 8th term, right? Plus D. That way you get it. But always you need to write down what is the first term. So if you know this series, the sequence of number like this, you can find out explicit formula, or you can find out recursive formula, right? Either one. So if you have a recursive formula, by using the formula, you can get the sequence also by backward, right? Now let's find out recursive formula now. What is the first term? Yes, -2, right? And then what's the difference? But this one, we already did this in the what? For explicit formula. But now for recursive formula, what's the formula? an minus 1 plus difference 2. Understand, right? Then let's try with this one. What's first term? 10. What is difference? 3, 3. Is it plus 3? No, if you plus 3, you should get higher. The number get higher, but it's going down. Then what is it? negative. So difference is negative. So negative, the difference is negative. If it is a linear equation, negative slope, right? Going down to the right side, negative slope. Slope is -3. So here formula is -3 from the previous term, right? Instead of +3. Does everybody understand? Good. Then I want you to practice with this by yourself. So you have 4 sequences of numbers and 4 formulas. This is explicit formula, but this is recursive formula, right? And this is explicit formula. Can you connect each other? Now, see, what's the first term? -6, and then difference 2. So 4, right? You can connect it this way. So you can try by yourself. Answer is here, like this. All right. We'll stop here.